The chips trade and Stargate specifically is where we begin, because my next guest says it helps answer one very important question in the AI build-out. Will there be enough funds available to continue growing CapEx before the industry starts generating a return on all this investment? Stargate, he says, suggests the answer is yes. Let's bring in Wolfe Research's Chris Caso. Chris, great to have you here. And listen, I think a lot of people seem pretty confident that there's going to be a payoff, or else I don't think they'd be plowing in hundreds of billions of dollars, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, the point you're making is that if you go back a year ago, certainly 2 years ago, the numbers that we were looking at for Nvidia specifically, the main question we got from investors is, where is this money coming from? Who's spending this money? And, it's one of the things the Stargate announcement, helps to answer is, well, here's one example of some folks that are willing to spend a lot of money, and particularly, ahead of the return on investment on AI, because that's been one of the other questions that investors have had is that, right now, there's some projects that have, high return on investment, and some projects are, still waiting for that ROI. One of the things that this announcement is saying is, yes, companies, and particularly these companies here, are willing to invest ahead of the ROI because they feel the ROI over the next 5 or 10 years is going to be so high.
Yeah. Chris, if we could kind of back up for a second more broadly, you kind of get into the details of Stargate, and a lot of this was in the works already. This was a Microsoft OpenAI supercomputer partnership that was first reported back in March. So, yeah, maybe now there's 10 data centers, or there's going to be 20, and now you've got SoftBank involved and ARM, and that's all well and good. But why do you think the stocks are reacting the way that they are? Maybe ARMS is because of its kind of newer involvement, but does this reaction make sense to you, and is it sustainable?
Well, that some of these stocks had pulled back more recently. In the case of Nvidia, there's been some questions about the transition of the new product ramp at Blackwell. How strong is that the first half versus the second half? And our view is, there's a transition period. We're expecting a much stronger second half. In the case of Micron, for example, which is one of our favorite names, they've been going through a cyclical downturn in, some of the core business, such as handsets and PCs. And, we feel once you get to the end of that, the stock starts to react as a reaction to what's going on in AI. So I think the quick answer to that question is that, some of these stocks have been under pressure for some short-term reasons. And, then, obviously people go back to, what the real prize is over the next few years.
Which, did you say that was Qualcomm? What are some of the names that you think could be the next movers in what's been a very hot space?
Yeah. So our favorite in the space right now is actually Micron, because it's been a bad favorite. Because of the cyclical part of the business is still correcting because some of the inventory correction that's happened. But they have a very good place in AI. They do the HBM memory that goes into AI service. It's a new business for them. We think it's going to be a very good driver. We also like Nvidia, which everybody likes right now, but we think they are the long-term winner.
Following the chipmaker's designation as a technology partner for Project Stargate, a significant artificial intelligence infrastructure program in the United States, Nvidia's stock jumped on Wednesday. Stargate is a new firm that plans to invest $500 billion over the next 4 years to construct AI infrastructure for OpenAI in the United States, with SoftBank and OpenAI as its primary partners. While OpenAI, the company that created ChatGPT, is in charge of operations, SoftBank is in charge of finances. SoftBank, OpenAI, Oracle, and MGX are the original equity funders of Stargate. Project Stargate's primary early technological partners are ARM, Microsoft, Nvidia, Oracle, and OpenAI. Nvidia's shares rose 4.4% on the stock market today, closing at 147.7. The announcement caused shares of ARM, Microsoft, and Oracle to rise as well. In a client note, Wedbush Securities analyst Matt Bryson stated, "We anticipate Nvidia will continue to be the main beneficiary of upcoming expenditures, which should, if anything, raise future revenue expectations." His price objective for Nvidia stock is 175, and he ranks it as an outperform. In a client note, UBS analyst Mayur Ramdhani stated that the Stargate news should calm some investors' concerns about AI spending. Ramdhani stated that this could significantly allay investor concerns around peak compute demand and possibly open up more growth opportunities for Nvidia after 2026. Ben Reitzes, an analyst at Melius Research, stated that the Project Stargate announcement supports Nvidia's long-term growth trajectory. He kept his recommendation to purchase Nvidia stock with a price objective of 195. Investors in Nvidia have undoubtedly made money over the last 3 years. Over the last 2 years, The stock price has increased more than 7 times, and it is currently the most valuable firm in the world by market capitalization. On Wednesday morning, the stock was up as much as 4.7%. The stock was still up 4.1% at 12:32 p.m. ET. So, what implications does this have for Nvidia's stock? Let's explore that. But first, a big thank you to those of you who've stuck with us this far. Creating these videos takes significant effort and dedication. So if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts on Nvidia stock in the comments. Your support truly helps us grow. Now, let's get back to the video.
Some of the biggest names in big tech, including Oracle, OpenAI, and Nvidia, are joining forces for an AI infrastructure build-out that's dubbed Stargate. More on what the venture means for these companies and their competitors, we are joined on set by our tech expert, Dan Howley. Dan, talk to me about not only what Stargate is exactly, but also how it benefits some of these big tech names and potentially hurts some of their competitors.
Yeah, so Stargate is this huge effort amongst Oracle and OpenAI and SoftBank, the three kind of big lead companies here for the project, to build out data centers across the country. And they're starting out in Texas, and so these would be data centers just dedicated to performing AI operations. And so, you imagine that we have other data centers from the likes of Microsoft, Google, Amazon. This is another kind of effort to ensure the U.S. has leadership in AI. And, bringing in SoftBank, obviously there was this discussion with Trump prior to the inauguration saying that there's this big push with SoftBank coming, in the hundreds of billions of dollars. And so this is clearly what that announcement was. What it means for the companies is, you have the likes of OpenAI, Oracle, SoftBank right there, but then you also have Microsoft in the mix. You also have Nvidia in the mix. You also have ARM in the mix. And so these are companies that are going to benefit as a result of the kind of top three, the OpenAI, the SoftBank, the Oracle. The Nvidias will benefit because you're building out AI infrastructure. Guess who does the best hardware when it comes to AI infrastructure? It's Nvidia. Microsoft benefits because OpenAI runs on Microsoft services. Oracle will obviously benefit immensely from using their cloud infrastructure as well as their data center infrastructure. And then ARM, just because, ARM is kind of everywhere.
It's up 17%.
Yeah, this is going to be a big deal for all of these companies. It's going to take time for it to be done, but when it is, you can imagine that companies will be leasing out the ability to run their AI platforms here and train them as well. So it's going to be huge.
Nvidia's unrelenting ascent has been powered by the development of artificial intelligence, AI, and a recent U.S. government initiative indicates that there is still more room for expansion. The group identified Nvidia, Microsoft, and ARM Holdings as some of the initiative's primary early technical partners and benefactors. The graphics processing units, GPUs, that power the majority of AI systems were invented by Nvidia. Additionally, the data centers that store these AI models are equipped with these cutting-edge CPUs. Nvidia held a 98% market share in 2022 and 2023, demonstrating its complete dominance in the data center GPU industry. Although the 2024 numbers are still pending, Nvidia is anticipated to maintain its position as the clear leader. Some investors may think that the moment to purchase Nvidia has already gone because it is already the most valuable company in the world, but recent developments demonstrate that is not the case. In addition, the stock is now trading for only 32 times the anticipated revenues for the upcoming year, a very appealing price for a business with so much potential. Nvidia stock is still a good investment because of this. To stay informed about the latest developments from Nvidia and the ever-changing stock market, consider subscribing to our investing tutorial channel. We provide daily updates on significant market shifts and key catalysts, so hit that subscribe button to ensure you never miss crucial information. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Nvidia stock, so please share your opinions in the comments below. Now, let's dive into today's video.
Always front and center. You found a couple of big trades here for Nvidia. Tell us more about that, which is up nearly 5% today.
Yeah, for sure. And, definitely the catalyst that you mentioned seems to be this Stargate AI situation here. And the trading in Nvidia was very large here. And when we approach these trades, we're kind of looking at them as if they were opening trades here. It's difficult to tell whether they're closing or opening trades. But just kind of to give a sense of the scale and the size size of everything, we'll approach them that way. So it's kind of two separate trades at different expiration months. So the first one, plus 21,000, March 21st, 165 strike calls at a 570 debit, and then the same quantity at the same expiration month of the 185 calls at a 220 debit here. So the net debit there, about 16.59 million or so, would be the debit paid if these were opening trades. We can see as well, max profit would be unlimited. The break even would be about 172.90, about 17.8% to the upside there. Now, if we were to look at our second trade here, it's a very similar trade. The quantities are less, but the price paid for them would have been greater. So we can see now plus 15,148 June 20th, 165 calls at a 1215 debit, and then the same increment, same expiration of the 185 calls at a 725 debit. So net debit here would be about $29.38 million. So total would be almost $46 million of debit if these were all opening trades. Earnings February 26th, it'll capture both of them. Our June 20th trades here, the break even would be 184.40, so about 25.6% to the upside. Now, if we could pull up our chart that I had for Nvidia, it'll kind of display the information in a different way here. You can see the intersections of those lines. The first set, you can see that purple curve is our probability of expiring cone study. So you can see now that our March 21st trades, the break even is outside the expected move. The trade would need a bigger than expected move to get to that point. So a 17.8 move versus a 16.6 expected move means this one would be projected to be more of a difficult situation here. The other June 20th expiration, you can see those two other lines intersecting. That one would need about a 25.6% move versus a 27.3 expected move. So this one is within the range here. Both of them will gain about $2.1 million per dollar beyond their break even, at expiration there. Size relative to total options volume, this trade was about 72,000 contracts, so about 2% of the total market of 3.5 million.
As investors welcomed the announcement of Stargate's $500 billion AI infrastructure initiative, Nvidia's stock jumped 4% on Wednesday. Large tech companies SoftBank. Along with Microsoft, Nvidia has been chosen by OpenAI, Oracle MGX, SoftBank, and OpenAI as their primary technology partner. With a 4-year financing deployment strategy, Stargate will immediately invest $100 billion in operations. The firm will construct cutting-edge U.S. data centers throughout the nation to meet the demands of AI computing. Nvidia solidified its leadership in AI hardware technology, particularly for GPUs built to process massive amounts of data, by taking part in Stargate's data center project. The announcement increased Nvidia's market capitalization to $3.58 trillion, surpassing Apple's $3.35 trillion valuation. The response from the market demonstrates how Nvidia has increased its influence in the development of AI while advancing technological infrastructure. President Donald Trump announced Stargate, a $500 billion artificial intelligence AI infrastructure project in the United States, at a news conference on Tuesday afternoon. He referred to it as the biggest AI infrastructure effort ever. Companies rushed to obtain generative AI capabilities when it demonstrated the technology's incredible potential. Oracle co-founder and executive chairman Larry Ellison, SoftBank founder and CEO Masayoshi Son, and OpenAI co-founder and CEO Sam Altman joined Trump at the conference. Trump stated that Stargate will generate more than 100,000 American jobs, stressing that the project will be fully domestic. He went on to say that he would be of great assistance by declaring emergencies. Investors may interpret this as a sign that he intends to reduce any regulatory obstacles that might impede the project's advancement. He added that on-site electricity generation might be a feature of the massive data centers. Because AI-enabled data centers consume a lot of electricity, having reliable and sufficient power is crucial. Ellison of Oracle described the project's breadth. 10 data centers in Abilene, Texas, approximately 180 miles west-southwest of Dallas, have begun construction. With a combined floor area of 500,000 square feet, each structure will be larger than 7 NFL football fields of standard size. According to Ellison, there will be locations outside of Abilene and the number of facilities will increase to 20. I wasn't sure if he meant that there would be 20 facilities in Abilene and more elsewhere. He may have intended for there to be a total of 20, 10 in Abilene, and another 10 elsewhere. In any case, the primary lesson is still that this is a huge AI infrastructure undertaking. the son of SoftBank discussed money and other partners. According to him, Stargate will begin allocating $100 million right now, with the aim of increasing the overall investment to $500 billion by the conclusion of Trump's tenure or within the next 4 years. According to Sun, Nvidia is the joint venture's technological partner, and investment firm MGX is another participant in Stargate. When it comes to chips, its graphics processing units, or GPUs, and associated technology for AI processing and data centers, Nvidia is by far the industry leader. Therefore, investors who follow Nvidia would have known that the Stargate project would almost certainly be good for the company, even if SoftBank's Sun had not mentioned Nvidia by name. A ton of Nvidia's GPUs and associated technology will be required for this project, which will significantly increase the company's revenue. Trump claimed that this was the biggest AI infrastructure investment in history, and Nvidia stands to gain a great deal from it. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.